things in the game. You know, the first thing was I thought in the first half we really played well on both ends of the floor. In the third quarter, we started well and didn't play probably the midway point, the last 6 minutes of the quarter, particularly well. I thought the difference in the game was the fact that you know, we shot the ball well from behind the line, but they made 15 threes, and we shot really poorly from the free throw line. And you know, give Bellinelli credit. I thought he really made some difficult off balance, really tough, hard shots. But I feel like offensively we're moving closer and closer to being a more efficient team. I was really excited about the fact that, you know, Carmelo could get as many threes as he did tonight. I thought that was really positive for us. I thought we found him and he got really good looks from behind the line. Obviously Russell, I thought the entire game he played a great floor game, and he played an incredible all the way around game, just as it relates to his efficiency. So, you know, I think the game was close because of, you know, their ability in crucial situations to make really timely shots and hard shots. You know, you gotta give them credit. They made some really difficult shots. Didn't think our defense was anywhere near where it had been in the Utah game last game. So that's something we probably got to, you know, shore up and clean up. But we just had that lull up 15 and you know, closed that quarter and allowed them to get right back into the game. And I thought that's why it was so close coming down the stretch.
Billy, you touched on it a little bit about Melo. Is that kind of the ideal type of game?
Yes, 100%. That's, I mean, that's, you know, one of the things, and I give him a lot of credit because this is different for him. You know, this is different for him, and he's really been open-minded about trying to do whatever he can do to help the team. And, you know, as a coach, you appreciate someone that's been in the game for such a long time and has established himself, you know, as a 10-time All-Star and 14 years in this league is one of the all-time greats, that he's willing to look at ways that he can do things a little bit differently to help our team. That doesn't mean we don't want to take away him being able to post up against smaller people or getting him in areas of the floor. We can take advantage of that, but I just thought his spacing and the fact that we found him more. You know, I felt like during the course of the season, those opportunities were there, but we didn't have a good enough recognition or awareness of them. And I think we're really more mindful of kind of locating him on the break, in penetration, to create those shots for him. And he's as good as anybody in the league when he's shooting behind the line. He's just a great shooter from behind there. And obviously he made some timely ones tonight.
Hey Billy, what did you want on the last play? What did you think of the shot you got? What were you looking for?
Yeah, I was happy. I mean, obviously it's kind of a unique situation because it's 11 seconds, you know, and it's a tie game, so you want to kind of make sure you don't go to a little bit too early, so something quick hitting. But Paul did a great job. You know, we kind of, it's something that we have worked on and have run before, and we just kind of delayed it a little bit. And, you know, Paul kind of cut through and under off of Steven for a flare. If they switch, they don't switch. And I think what ended up happening was Russell's man really backed up, you know, because I think he was assuming that they were going to switch. And maybe they wanted to guard Russell backed up, but it really gave him, I thought, a clean look on balance from behind three. And, you know, he, you know, besides the shot, he was unbelievable tonight because it wasn't going well in the third quarter, and just his enthusiasm, his positivity, his leadership was really good for our team because we got so stagnant and on both sides of the ball. They had that period there where we just didn't play particularly well, and it allowed them in the game, and it kind of went back and forth, and then their ability to make timely shots, you know, obviously kept them in the game, and our missing free throws hurt us. But the last possession, I thought he made a great read in terms of what was given to him, and it was a really clean, pretty good look from behind the line.
Coach, in the third quarter, you give up that 16-point lead. Was it just something as simple as the 7 turnovers that occurred in that quarter, or did you feel the energy level wasn't there that was there in the second quarter?
I think it's probably something we talked about a little bit early, before the game started. You know, we didn't put any pace. You know, we kind of walking the ball down, and you know, we got caught into, you know, being stagnant, and we didn't flow well enough. And the one thing I am encouraged by is we're doing that more often than not. I thought earlier in the year it was like split. Like sometimes we do it, sometimes we don't do it. I think we're moving more towards trying to do it. I mean, That's what we're trying to focus on. But it was 7 turnovers. It was, them capitalizing on our turnovers and turning them into points. It was their timely shooting. It was our missed free throw opportunities. And it was also, really, to be honest with you, some bad offensive possessions.
Bill, you mentioned Russell's overall performance a little bit in your answer about that final play, but how is he different when he's just relentlessly attacking the rim instead of kind of I don't know if settling is the right word, but kind of pulling up from those.
He has to take those. He just has to, because listen, I'm not a big non-paint 2 guy. I'm not. I like 3 things. I like threes. I like layups. And I like fouls. I think every coach would probably agree with that. And that's what you're fighting for. That's what you're trying to create. But there are just certain situations where when he's coming at you, people back up on him. They just back up to absorb the drive. And if you don't show that you can consistently make that kind of elbow jumper 15-footer, you become a little bit more easy to guard. I think earlier in the year, he was not making that shot at the rate he normally does. I think the last 2 games, he's really done a great job of being on balance and shooting the ball. And the one thing I always give him credit for is, he's in the gym every night, working. He's at practice ends, he goes home, he's with his family and his wife and his son. But he comes back at night and he focuses on working on those things. And I think that the work that he's put in is certainly paying off for him.
You attributed early in the year when his jump shot wasn't really falling, you attributed it to him just kind of thinking about all these different things and trying to get comfortable. Is the fact that he's been shooting so well lately, do you attribute that to him getting more comfortable now than he was before?
I think he's figuring out the balance between himself, Carmelo, Paul, Steven, our team, Patrick, if he's out there with those guys, Jeremy, he's figuring out the balance. I mean, Russell is a really, really unselfish guy. I mean, he plays the game in one speed, and that's to go win and attack and play. But the unselfishness early in the season was to try to okay, I gotta think less of myself and figure out how can I, impact these guys. And I think last 2 games, he's been tremendous in terms of that balancing part of trying to really play efficiently himself and then also incorporating other guys. And he's really smart in terms of taking inventory and taking direction from his experiences and figuring out different ways to try to help our team. And I'm hopeful that this continues because he's been exceptionally efficient the last 2 games, and he's played great on defense. He's played a tremendous floor game, and he's really, generated and created a lot of shots for others, where I think guys now are maybe a little bit more comfortable expecting it. And for me, I think it was, Melo gets up 12 threes. I mean, that's great. If we can get him 12 threes, that's awesome.
Last one.
You talked about earlier, you're trending away from that inconsistent play, not playing with pace or flow. Does that kind of play into the inconsistent free throw shooting? I would just imagine a team that's not playing with a lot of flow, you tend to think a lot of the free throw line and miss some shots that you would otherwise make. And do you see that kind of also trending in the right direction despite tonight's numbers?
We did a pretty good job last game against Utah. We shot a high percentage from the free throw line. I don't know if it's because of the lack of flow, but we got to the free throw line, which was good 31 times tonight, but we needed to capitalize a whole lot more and a whole lot better than we did. And I thought, like I said earlier, I thought the difference was our lack of free throw shooting, some play that wasn't great in that third quarter, turnovers, and they really made timely shots. I mean, every time we answered with something, we got up by 7, they made a timely 3 and made it a 1-possession game or a 2-possession game, and we're able to kind of keep it close. So, give them a lot of credit for the way they played tonight.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.